Damn it. Okay, Hangout starts at me saying damn it, so that's good. I was listening to Pandora yesterday, and I took my girlfriend to lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I was listening to the Maximum Hormone channel.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
And it brought up a whole bunch of different like Japanese bands.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it pretty much started from when I heard that Pandora was a thing.
Okay.
The first thing that, I was looking up like No Use for a Name and Millencolin and stuff as to get those kind of things. Like, it brings up pretty much just music you're either already listening to, or it's like I have the CD for this, I can skip. I have the CD for this, skip, like. And so I was like, there's got to be something different I can put in. And so yeah, when I first got, I think it was the iHeartRadio app or the Pandora app, I put in Koji Kondo.
Oh, I did that too.
Just to see if, it would bring up any musician. And it brought up a whole bunch of like video game based songs and themes and whatnot.
That's actually how I discovered Lindsey Sterling. I put video game music, I think it was Koji Kondo, into Pandora, and somewhere along the way it decided that Lindsey Sterling was similar enough to video game music, and yeah, and like, oh, I like this. Who's she?
Yeah, I know when you put out that tweet and I responded to it about me and Mustafa, he and I have both on Discord gone back and forth with each other, posting a whole bunch of Japanese punk and metal bands. It's all like, obscure stuff, but a lot of that kind of stuff I find on YouTube and other places. Like I actually had for a while, the on-demand service for cable. And one of the features that it had, at least in the one small Illinois regional cable company, one of the things they had on demand was they had a whole bunch of music videos, which was weird. That they had video on demand music videos on your cable service. But I watched all of them, and it got me turned on to a whole bunch of bands that I'd never heard before, mainly because I've been out of some of the anime viewing scenes for so long. I didn't know that some of them were actually bands that have done anime openings, but yeah, like finding all of these new bands was kind of a cool thing. Plus, I found out that here in Chicago, there's a Japan Day where at I believe it's the House of Blues. It's either the House of Blues, the Vic, or the Metro. One of those venues, they actually get a whole bunch of underground Japanese punk bands to come in and play. It's really cool.
Nice. Yeah, we don't have much of that over here in Montana.
Yeah.
Which is weird because we actually have quite a vast blues audience here.
Mm-hmm.
And actually we have here in town we have the Kumamoto Plaza, which used to have which I actually just recently learned. They actually had classes where you could learn a whole bunch of Japanese cultural things, like how to write kanji and just stuff like that.
That's cool.
And learning how to speak the language. And up until I think it was like, well, now going on 7 years ago, they shut it down 2 years prior because I think there's a town in Japan that our town was the sister city of, and they didn't have the funds to keep it open, so they had to shut it down.
Yeah.
This is why we need communism. Communism means free stuff for everyone.
Yeah, but if everyone gets access to it, it's going to be crap.
I know. It's also a terrible idea to argue for communism on the grounds of that.
Exclusivity breeds quality. That's the problem. When everyone can have it, it's usually not going to be worth anything.
This is true.
But yeah, it was my stepson actually that got me, because I started watching like Naruto and stuff with him, and then I just happened to find Adult Swim, just when I was channel surfing one night afterwards, and I'm like, oh, this is the kind of stuff that my stepson might like. And so I started watching it, and that's pretty much how I got into anime. It was just, it's, and then.
Do you mind if I ask, how old are you?
I'm 38.
Oh, okay. Well, you're not too much older than me. I'm 34. But I remember watching Adult Swim. Adult Swim was a thing when I was in high school. Like they had just come out with Adult Swim, but before that they had Toonami on Cartoon Network, and that was all Japanese anime.
Yeah, they still had that. Yeah, you had Toonami, which was like the Naruto, Bleach, stuff like that. At least I think Bleach was included in that. And then you got the more adult stuff like Paranoia Agent and Ghost in the Shell and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it started with Naruto, worked its way up to Bleach, and then it just sort of blew up from there.
And say, yeah, another unpopular opinion time. Where's Cynical Lindsay? She curates these for me.
She is she's watching Blue Wing. How the hell is that? Yeah, she's with Bloodwing stream.
I was gonna say, she curates my unpopular opinions. I actually really don't like Naruto or Bleach.
Well, I know Chris Raygun really likes Bleach.
Yeah. I just got that. God damn it.
No, when I sent that initial tweet, I was just like, I'm bored. Who wants to stream? Like, Terry's like, hi, bored. I'm Terry.
Terry's a good guy like that.
Yeah.
After hitting my son with one of those, it's about time I got one in return.
Well, that's why I did it. We were talking about dad jokes yesterday, and like, okay, well, this is sort of topical. You can make a really bad dad joke.
Think you mean a really good dad joke?
Well, they're all good. That comes with the territory. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best dad jokes invoke the most cringe.
Exactly.
But yeah, it was once Death Note started. We started watching that, and then I found myself just sort of tapping along with the theme song of the second season.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I was like, "Oh, this is Maximum Hormone." Like, yep. I gotta see about.
They also did the ending for the second season as well.
Yeah,
Zetsubo Billy. Yep.
And yeah, I was like, yeah. They also around that same time, they did a tour around New England with the Dropkick Murphys.
Oh yeah.
And I was almost like, ditch the girlfriend, go watch them, or hang around for a while. Yeah, I think I'll hang around. Like,
I mean, the Dropkick Murphys put on a fucking great show. I saw them at Riot Fest in Chicago, and they were fucking great. Then again, that show was just awesome. It was, we went there, or I went there initially because my favorite punk band was playing, a punk ska band, Less Than Jake.
yes.
But while I was there, we looked at all of the other lineup. We saw Andrew WK. We saw Gwar before Dave Brockie died. We saw NoFX. We saw who else? The Descendants, Dropkick Murphys. The only one we didn't see because it was a Friday show and it wasn't at the same venue, although it was part of the same festival, was Offspring. We just went for the Saturday and Sunday shows, and they were on Friday. Oh, Brad Religion, that was another one. Yeah.
Yeah, we had plans to, because we had always heard, after the internet became a thing, we wanted to go to one of those sort of the bigger music concerts, and Riot Fest was one of the ones that we had planned to go see, but could never come up with the funds collectively to do it.
Yeah.
One of us would always end up getting arrested. Not me. Not me, just so we're clear there.
Oh, okay. Oh, no judgments if it were you. So
I was actually the good kid, so I tried to keep us out of trouble. So, but no, I think what I was doing was I was taking stuff off of like YouTube. Because I'd look up the Maximum Hormone stuff, and this is before like you could find just vast playlists of bands, whatever they got out. It was pretty much like, oh, this is the theme song to Death Note, and I would record it onto my computer from through a microphone, using Sound Recorder, and then I would. She had my girlfriend had at the time had a mixer. You can kind of adjust pitches and whatnot, sort of like fix the audio. And I fixed it to the best I could, and I did that to a lot of stuff. Because they had iTunes. My stepson had an iPod, but the iTunes stuff you couldn't like transfer over to as an MP3.
No, you can't. Well, you can, but it's a whole long and involved process. And yeah, fuck Apple and their proprietary fucking file formats. It's ridiculous. I hate that shit.
Yeah. So I would just record it and then just fix it and try and make it sound as good as I could.
Yeah.
And so it pretty much, we had an entire CD of songs that sounded like they came from a cassette tape.
Yeah, well, that's not bad, right?
Yeah, there was a few that had some squeak to it, but I think I did pretty good.
I say, that there are websites that allow you to rip videos straight off of YouTube as MP3s.
Yeah, I've taken advantage of a few things.
Oh yes.
There's actually I downloaded an No Use for a Name album, and then one of the songs I think, hit an error, and so I ended up finding the song on YouTube and then just ripping that. Allegedly.
Yes,
This is where, just in case.
Disavow. Alleged.
Yes. I don't know if I can associate with you two criminals any further.
Regardless of what Amelia Sarkeesian says, do not pirate anything. Because she is a fan of torrenting.
She is.
But yeah, going back to Pandora, there was the band. Well, there's MUCC. I don't know if it's their name or if they're actually called Muck. But they had some pretty catchy songs that popped up on Pandora, and then Baby Metal was a thing.
Oh yeah, Baby Metal. Yeah.
And
there's one song in particular you should really look up. It's from the Yoshida brothers. They essentially play like they themselves are not the metal musicians, but they make metal songs. What they play is they play the shamisen. You know what the shamisen is?
Nope.
It is a 4-stringed Japanese banjo.
Oh, okay.
And just imagine traditional Japanese songs. I'm sure you've probably heard the shamisen without knowing exactly what it is. It got that sort of like twangy twang, but you hear the audible click of the strings when they pluck them.
Okay.
Imagine that to metal.
Well, that sounds like that. There's been that band that's going around on Facebook. They're from China, and they're singing apparently some metalish. It's supposed to be like heavy metal.
Yep, the Yoshida brothers. There you go. That's what the shamisen looks like.
Huh.
It's like a long banjo-lele.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, oh man, the Yoshida brothers are awesome. Here, let me look up the song. See, that's the thing. If you'd be running OBS, you could actually play it for the audience. Let's see here.
Well, I'm sure I could if I found.
Let's see here. There it is. I will share it in side chat and in chat for anyone watching. Oh wow, I can share links without having a wrench?
Yeah, they changed that a while ago. Oh, I noticed people doing it in Monkey's chat. I'm not sure what the reasoning was, but yeah, people can spam links all they want now. I like it already.
Yeah, this isn't bad.
Yeah.
Let's not go for a strike.
I'm playing too much. But yeah, and I say, it's funny. Mustafa and I, Mustafa's a musician. I'm not. But we both have fairly similar tastes when it comes to that sort of thing. And we've shared back and forth with each other for quite a bit. So
Yeah, I invited him on, so I guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's working right now or not. I know
Yeah.
he's been forced to work a couple of weekends, and he always hates it. But
See,
yeah,
I guess if I can find the video that my friend was talking about. Ah, there it is.
yeah, I'm just over here painting some guardsmen while we chat. Trying to finish up all of my infantrymen.
Shouldn't you be saving that for when you're doing minions?
Terry, I have no shortage of minis to paint. Yeah, I've got like all of my Imperial Guard here, and once I'm finished with that, I still have all of my Battle Sisters, and then I have all the Blood Angels. Then I have the one Orc that I bought, and then I have all of my roommates' armies, 2 of them, and then I have all the terrain. And then, short of all of that, I also have D&D minis and Malifaux minis. So yeah, I have no shortage.
I'm the kind of person that I don't even paint them. Like if I have a game, like when I played Hero Quest, for instance, which is probably the closest thing to that kind of game,
Mm-hmm.
I never bothered painting them. I was like, yeah, I can
Yeah.
tell what they are.
Yeah. You know what's really funny about that? Do you still have your Hero Quest?
Nah, it's been lost to
I was
the
going to
sands
say,
of time.
here's one very, very, very important, very funny thing about that, right? Okay, so do you know the name of the company that makes Warhammer?
Not off the top of my head. As soon as you say it, I'll know it. Is it Games Workshop? Is it?
Games Workshop, yes. Okay. Now, here, let me find. Oh, where is it? I say, where? Trying to find specifically. Okay, so. This is Hero Quest, right?
It is.
Hero Quest is the best game ever. Those who don't agree are wrong. For those that don't know him, he's a great YouTuber, but he's got this video talking about how Hero Quest is great. Now, here's the thing. Let me just let me find it real quick. Let me find the back of the game box.
I actually had no one to play Hero Quest with, so I was playing on my own, which kind of defeats the purpose because you know exactly what's going to happen and when.
Yeah. Okay,
Make...
so here's the back of the box, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just wanna
Yeah, Games Workshop.
right here. This is made by Milton Bradley, but developed by Games Workshop. Yeah. So no, you actually did have a G-Dub product, whether you knew it or not.
Oh, there you go. But yeah, I played Hero Quest against myself because I like the concept of the game enough that even though I had no one to play with, I was going to find a way. God damn
it! Well, you know what's funny about that, Terry? There is essentially spiritual successors to Hero Quest.
Which ones?
Called Warhammer. Called Warhammer
Oh, right.
Quest.
Um.
Yeah, there's a fantasy Warhammer Warhammer Quest, and then there's also a 40K Warhammer Quest. They just put out the 40K one here recently called Blackstone Fortress.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably too much money for how much enjoyment. Because remember, I'd be playing on my own, which would eliminate a lot of the fun parts. Then again, I did spend like $400 on Gloomhaven, which I'm playing against myself.
Well, let's put it this way, Terry. You know, you just got to get out of Australia. You got to come to the States, and yeah, we can definitely play some tabletop.
Well, I mean, I have friends in Melbourne that I can play board games with. The main problem there is I only see them like 4 times a year, if that. And also, like, I can't bring my games down to Melbourne without massively exceeding the weight limits on the plane. So I either spend a fortune for extra luggage or I don't bring them. Like,
Yeah.
Anything I own, I don't get to play unless someone down there also owns it. And
Gotcha. And I'll say the Melbourne, that's like what, 6-hour drive, if that, or no, it's way more, right? That's like halfway across the continent from where Sydney.
no, so it's about a bit over an hour by plane. So I don't know what that corresponds to by car, but it's. I wouldn't want to drive it myself, but people do. It's like doable. But yeah, it's an hour and 10, hour 15 by plane.
Oh, okay. That's not
Okay,
bad.
so I went to look for Hero Quest, and I found Warhammer Quest.
Oh yeah.
Guess how much they're selling Warhammer Quest.
Well, which one? Blackstone Fortress?
It is. It says the adventure card game, so I guess that's not the same one. Let's see. Let's try that one.
I say I would not be surprised if it was almost $200, like maybe 170, 180, 190.
Okay, yeah, Blackstone Fortress, 127.50.
Oh yeah.
I found Hero Quest, the whole game system. Guess how much that is?
If it's complete, I would say closer to 200.
Derry?
So when you say complete, does that mean all the expansions and shit like that, or?
No, I mean like all the pieces.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Sounds like it's pretty much like the entire, just the set itself, like the base.
If it's in good condition and given how old it is, I don't know, maybe a few $100.
$622.
So
hold on, I need to go and talk to my roommate for a second. We have a copy of Hero Quest and both expansions.
wow. That is more than it is worth.
Well, you know, those it's a really popular game series, and you know, board game and stuff. And it's really difficult to find all of the. I'm not on camera. I you know, it's really hard to find them complete anymore.
Is it still in print, like, or have they stopped making?
No, Milton Bradley was bought out by Hasbro a long time ago, and Hasbro has not, you know, done it. So the first printing of Hero Quest, that's it. That's all you'll get.
Oh, okay. Well, that explains why it's so much. Then it's a collector's item more than a game at this point.
And here, let me find the video that I referenced when I first started talking about Hero Quest. go.
Now, just because this brought up memories, this one have you guys ever played the Suikoden series?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
It's quite possibly my favorite, like, of the JRPGs.
Mm-hmm.
I found one that says it's brand new, apparently still in the package, with a guide. How much do you think this guy's selling this for?
Oh man. Let's see here. With guys, is cellophane sealed?
Yeah.
Thousands of dollars.
Let's see. There's one I found. It was this one. The first one I found that was the more expensive wrapped. Where the hell did I find it? Oh, right here. $750.
Wow. All right.
This other guy is selling his cellophane wrapped for, drum roll please,
Yep, $1,000. Yep.
I
Oh, that's
know.
super good too.
I know on Lords of the Night they said someone bought like an original Super Mario Brothers or something for like $100,000.
No. Not
I
even an
forget,
arcade cabinet is worth that much.
but they were writing articles. Is this the most anyone's ever paid for a single game? And Lords
It's
of the Night,
it can't be a Mario game then. Come on.
but this was like original.
Yeah, even original, like even well, here, let's just look it up on Amazon. A Famicom Mario.
well, here's one for 3,000.
Oof.
Like,
Yeah.
and I like the game, but I don't like it that much.
Oh, yeah, no, the place where you go to get your benchmark for games like that is going to be on Amazon. Amazon's your best place to get a benchmark of exactly how much you spend. Like I just found here. Hold on, let me just look up Suikoden. Anyway, here, this is just a quick thing here. This is a Famicom copy of Mario Brothers 1. And you can see here, $325. Okay? That's the Amazon asking price. Buy used for $12.75.
Yeah.
There's no way a Mario game fetched for that much. No way. Mario is dirt cheap because there's 1,000,000,007 of them all over the place. But yeah, here, let's just look up Suikoden.
Yeah, I think the base one is like $150.
There you go. Suikoden for the PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
Its benchmark is $25. But that's going to be disc only. It's not going to be complete. I think you started this this stream with the intention to talk about music. Oh man, if you want to talk retro video games,
Yeah, most conversations just devolve into other stuff.
yeah, no, I can well, here, hold on. Give me one quick second and I can do something that I've been meaning to do on both my channel and the Minions, but I'll test it out on your channel here to see how everyone likes it. So give me one quick second.
Yeah, well, that is also the difference between Suikoden 1 and Suikoden 2. So, because somehow there's something about 2 that's made that price jump.
That series is something I've heard about before, but I've never actually had a chance to play. Is my microphone still doing that scratchy thing?
No, actually, it's been really good.
Because I had a theory as to what was causing it. Because my speakers make a lot of sort of noise, like just sort of staticky background noise.
Yeah.
I don't know why they wouldn't have been acting up when I was on the laptop, but I thought if I try unplugging the speakers and putting headphones in, maybe it would stop the background noise, which is what I think was causing the scratching.
I gotta see about this because
All right, I'm back. See, this is what you make me do, Johnny. I wasn't even dressed. I didn't have pants on. Like a good internet person, man. I was entirely entitled to walk around without any pants on all day. But here we are. Okay, so what I'm gonna do? God damn it! You fucking thing. Trying to get me. Here we go. Trying to fix this piece of shit. There it goes. There we go. All right. So we can turn. Nope. Not screen share. God damn it. Oh, wrong camera. Wrong camera. Right camera. Hello. Hello, everyone. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is we're going to do this. We're going and take a look around at my hoard, at my stash. Okay, so don't want to knock any minis off my goddamn table. All right, so here we go. This is my Xbox shelf. You can see right here, what my here. Let me. Come on, wire. Come on. Work with me. Something just fell. Hopefully, it wasn't my bottle of Goldschlager. There we go. All right, so here's my my Xbox shelf. You can see here one of my pride and joys is my Warhammer 40K Space Marine Collector's Edition. It's beautiful.
I thought you were going to say the pride and joy was your Harley Quinn.
Oh no, dude! Seriously, I have multiples.
I know, and I figured that they would all be your pride and joy.
I was going to say I've seen multiples of those around, so
I have a lot of Harleys, but okay, so now mind you, I cannot see my monitor here, so if you can't really see things, just let me know.
And I'm going to agree and keep in mind that none of them are voiced by Tara Strong.
Yes, thank you. Tara Strong she's an okay voice actress, but come on, man, she is not Harley Quinn. Okay, so let's go like this here. All right. So here we've got starting from left to right here, and let me just take my controllers and put them on the floor. Sorry, controllers. You must be exiled for now. All right. So right here we've got Silent Hill 2, Silent Hill 4, Thief: Deadly Shadows, Shenmue 2, Capcom vs. SNK 2 EO, which by the way, this version of, instead of the PlayStation version, is worth $90, whereas the PlayStation version is worth $30. We've got Splinter Cell, what was it? Splinter Cell 1, Splinter Cell 3, and then Ghost Recon, Ninja Gaiden, Project Gotham Racing, BMXXX. The Xbox version is the only one that has full nudity. Look at all those pixelated boobies. Dance Dance Revolution Ultimate, Dance Dance Revolution Ultra Mix 2, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 X, Soul Calibur 2, Dead or Alive 3, The Warriors, X-Men Legends 2, Halo 1, Halo 2, and then we get into the 360. Or no, sorry, we got down here for the original Xbox. Psychonauts, the Star Wars, Clone Wars, and Tetris Worlds packaged game that came with the original Xbox. Dragoon Orta. Ooh, that's a franchise right there.
Which one is that?
Panzer Dragoon. Have you ever heard of Panzer Dragoon?
No, I've never played it, but I've.
It's one of the, in my opinion, the best games that ever came out for the Sega CD, or not Sega CD, Sega Saturn, and it has one of the, or I think it's actually going now, the most expensive retro game ever, which is Panzer Dragoon Saga. That game, just the discs, sells for over $1,000.
Jeez.
That's a lot of money for a game.
Yeah. So Panzer Dragoon Orta, Gun Valkyrie, Guilty Gear X2, Robotech Battlecry, and then Metal Gear Solid 2. The game that just gets sillier with every playthrough.
So, this is going to be my unpopular opinion. Psychonauts, I didn't actually like.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I like Psychonauts.
I like the premise of the game, and I like the sort of graphical style and all that, but I just couldn't get into it. I don't know why. Somewhere around the point I had to use my controller as a divining rod to find something buried underground, and that took too long, and I got bored.
It's definitely a quirky and weird game. Definitely not for everyone. I can understand that. It's
the kind of thing I'd probably enjoy watching a Let's Play more than playing it myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never got into it.
Okay. So other than that, we're gonna put you over here. We've got starting in the 360 stuff. We've got Halo 3, which, by the way, I have never played. But I never played it. South Park's The Stick of Truth, another game I've never played. Murdered Soul Suspect. I've never played that either. Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare. I've never played that one either. Red Dead Redemption, however, I have played and I fucking loved it.
You haven't played Undead Nightmare, though?
I have not played Undead Nightmare. I've heard it's good, though. I've heard it's amazing.
It is good. I'll say the ending is kind of disappointing.
I say I'm still waiting here because we'll get to it in a bit. Okay. Now, mind you, I have all of these consoles and I have them all hooked up and ready to go. I want to keep that in mind. All right, when I'm showing off all this. Got Mortal Kombat, Evil Within, Tony Hawk's Project 8. Gears of War Triple Pack, which has Gears of War 1 and Gears of War 2. Gears of War 3. Gears of War Judgment, another game I have never played. Operation Raccoon City, I've beaten that one. Bayonetta, Deadpool, beaten Deadpool. Dead Rising, I played a little bit of it. I haven't really gone back to it. I need to. I've heard it's really, really good. Sneak King, that was the limited edition Burger King tie-in games that they had.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Never played it.
Oh, you should. It's awesome.
I've heard it's really good. I've heard they do sneaking really well. That for a stealth oriented game, they did it way better than it has any right of being. Splinter Cell Conviction, I loved this game. It's such a good game. Syndicate, I loved this game. It's great. Deus Ex Human Revolution, I played a little bit of that. I haven't really finished it. Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. The Shadowrun game, this isn't Shadowrun. We'll get to that in a second. Fallout 3, Blech. Fallout New Vegas. I like Fallout New Vegas. Crackdown. Nah. Warhammer Battle March. That was a pretty good game for being a strategy game on the 360. Alice Madness Returns. I hate butter shoes. Never put in butter shoes on your platformer. That's a terrible idea. Stop it. Aliens vs. Predator. That was actually a really fun game. I like that one. Super Street Fighter 4. I was really competitive with that one. Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I was extremely let down by that one. That one was an awful game. King of Fighters 12. King of Fighters. The King of Fighters is pretty much always going to be good. Dead Island. I put way more hours on the PC version that I got for free because of the Humble Bundle. Assassin's Creed 2, and Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and Assassin's Creed Revelations. I've only played the Assassin's Creed.
No, you played all of them. You just only had one disc.
I've heard the gameplay is pretty fucking similar across the board, but I liked it the little bit that I played of it, but I just I don't know, for one reason or another I just haven't gone back.
Yeah.
Rocksmith, I actually do have. It was one of the wires I put down there below me. I do have the wire to hook up my guitar to it. I do have a guitar. I'm just not very good at it. Definitely not as good as Mustafa. Nowhere near even. Zone of the Enders HD collection. I'll get to that in a second. I actually do have all of the rest of Zone of the Enders on PlayStation 2. I don't need to have the HD collection, but it was really easy because I didn't need both of those games and to put them in separately. I just needed this one. So that's why I bought that. I've heard that it's not a very good port, but meh, I don't care. Revel 6, not even played it yet.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. I really like Leon as a character, and it seemed like the only good Resident Evil games were the even-numbered Resident Evil games. So that's the reason why I gave it a shot. And the demo that they put out for it back when it came out, I really enjoyed. So that's why I gave it a shot. So, meh. Here's another thing about me, too. I don't get rid of video games. I don't ever resell.
No, me either.
So, because you never know what's going to be valuable later on in the future. So, Lollipop Chainsaw, that is a fucking amazing game. Everyone should play it. It's so good. Dead Space, I like this game, but I don't know. I never finished it. I've got a friend that she and I play horror games together. A lot of times we play them together, but she's not been over and we haven't continued playing this one. We stopped halfway through. What was it? Oh God, what was the one for PlayStation 4? Well, we'll get to it eventually. Until Dawn. We stopped playing Until Dawn. I was having her play Until Dawn because I wanted to get her reaction out of, or I wanted to watch her reaction on some of the horror scenes in it. But yeah, we haven't gone back and finished Dead Space. We should probably do that. Silent Hill Homecoming and Silent Hill Downpour. If you can't tell, Silent Hill 2, 4, Homecoming, Downpour. Silent Hill is my favorite game series. Period. It's just bar none. Silent Hill is my favorite game series, which will become apparent a little bit later on. We've got Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham City, Batman Arkham Origins. All of those great games. But in my opinion, here's another unpopular opinion. Everyone says City was the best. I like Asylum the best.
Well, I think it depends how linear you want your game, because Arkham Asylum was far more linear than the rest of the series.
Yes and no. I mean, the way I would compare them, Arkham Asylum is like Metroid. Arkham City is like Skyrim.
That's fair.
Although with Arkham City, you still had the plot and you still had to.
Yeah.
It's just that you could fuck off and do a whole bunch of random shit at any random time.
Yeah.
Asylum, you still could do that too, but like certain things required certain gadgets that you
Yeah,
couldn't play from.
Asylum was basically a Metroidvania style game, whereas the rest of the series was open world, sort of GTA style. You can do a mission if you want, or you can dick around. It's up to you, kind of thing.
Yeah, but I like the structure involved in Asylum more than the freedom in the
Yeah.
games. But I'd say these are the only two, by the way, that I've ever 100%ed.
Okay.
I never 100%ed Origins, and I didn't 100% Night. So
I don't think I even played Arkham Knight.
the little bit I played of it, I liked. Here's the problem: everyone was clamoring for the Batmobile for Arkham.
Uh,
It's the worst bit of that game. Not gonna lie, I hated the Batmobile segments.
Yeah, they weren't all that fun.
No. Injustice: Gods Among Us and LA
Mhm.
Noire.
I did like LA Noire.
Huh?
I did. It was good.
That's one of my favorite games. So let me put all
I bought all the additional cases, the DLC, because I did really enjoy the writing style and the
oh yeah.
sort of unraveling the cases. It was one of their best games, I think.
Yeah, I would say that for me, it's a tie between LA Noire and Red Dead Redemption. I'm not playing Red Dead Redemption 2, but yeah, that my perspective might change when I play Red Dead 2. But
I didn't like Red Dead Redemption. I think it's mainly because of the cowboy thing, which has just never done it for me.
I like westerns, so you know.
Yeah, but because I don't enjoy the setting. I think that's what put me off Red Dead Redemption far more than anything in the actual game. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's just
Yeah,
I
I
never.
think if you're not into a Western theme, you're not gonna like that game.
Yeah, like people were telling me, "Oh no, it's such a great game. Even if you don't like westerns, you've got to try it." So I did, and like, no, don't like it.
Okay, so this is all of my Xbox shelf. Everything I have for Xbox. All right, from
Yep.
Xbox One and Xbox 360. Another thing that was on that shelf, a little honorable mention, is my Wonder Swan.
Oh wow.
This is a Japanese-only console that somehow made its way over to the States. I have a Digimon game for it. That's what
Digimon.
But the Wonder Swan is it's a great, powerful little handheld. The problem was that there weren't that many games for it, and even in Japan. But it's one of those game systems like the Atari Lynx that you can actually play vertically
Oh, okay.
or horizontally. Um, so now we get down to the more important shelf.
Sega stuff.
One of my Sega Genesis shelves. That's right, I have two of them. So here, let me move those. Those are my Malifaux terrain pieces, and then I've got some D&D minis down here.
All right, so there's only going to be one that I'm actually looking for in this on these shelves.
Okay. So here, I'm going to say this is my the man who would kill Batman, Harley. Okay. So I'll move these over. I'm not going to take them out. Those are my Malifaux minis. Malifaux is a skirmish war game. Really, really great too. Being so bold. Okay, so here we've got the non-case games. So I don't like to buy these too much, but I've got Sonic the Hedgehog, not for resale. It's the one that came packaged with the first generation. That Sega Genesis. Primal Rage, Altered Beast, Sonic Spinball, Skitchin.
Never heard of that one.
Oh, that one's great, man. It's this game where you needed to you're on rollerblades and you grab onto the back of cars driving down the highway, and you need to beat other rollerbladers as you pass by them, grabbing onto other cars when they're moving faster and stuff. It's a really fun game.
Cool.
But let's see, electronic arts
Hockey.
hockey.
There's
So-
hockey. There's no
Hockey. Yeah, no other thing needed. Okay, so over here we've got these. Now here, these are the important ones, right? Because these are the cardboard box Genesis games.
You've got the feminist icon, Ms. Pac-Man.
Well, the thing about it is the reason why these are important is because no one ever kept these. Everyone always threw out the cardboard boxes.
Yeah.
So here we go. I got Mrs. Pac-Man, Comic Zone, X-Men #1, X-Men 2, Shining Force 2,
Love those games.
Shinobi 3.
Hmm.
This is the Japanese Shinobi 3. So it's the Mega Drive Shinobi 3. Oh, great. Hold on.
Yes. As far as I'm concerned, it's called the Mega Drive. I don't know why you people call it a Genesis.
That's what they decided to call it here in the States. Jurassic Park, Last Battle, aka what was the name of that show? Fist of the North Star. And so if you don't know that, this was actually rebranded because they didn't quite get the license for Fist of the North Star. So all of the content within this game is Fist of the North Star. But it's not called Fist of the North Star. Judge Dredd, Earthworm Jim.
I loved Earthworm Jim.
Yeah. And so speaking of, the guy who created Earthworm Jim is actually a comic skater.
Oh,
So
what's his name? I can't.
fuck, I don't remember his name.
I'll know it if I hear it.
Yeah, so will I. Oh shit. The only one I can think of is the comic skater that was just swatted today, Edwin Boyette. But that's not him.
No.
I can't remember his name. Anyway, it might come to me. Ren and Stimpy. Stimpy's Invention. Demolition Man. Yeah, I've got all the shitty movie tie-ins. Shut up.
Doug Richard Ten Nipple.
Doug Tenaple. Yes.
Naple. Yeah.
Yep. Virtual Racing. Batman Returns. Zombie Ate My Neighbors. Zombies.
Oh, I like that one.
Oh yeah. I've got the Genesis version though, not the SNES version.
I didn't like the sequel Ghoul Patrol nearly as much. I thought the first one was better.
Yeah, so did I. Chakan. Spider-Man and the X-Men Arcade's Revenge. Spider-Man and Venom Maximum Carnage. Echo the Dolphin and Echo the Dolphin Tides of Time. This one, they don't have it printed on the side here, but it is Taz Escape from Mars.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think we had that my friend had that for the Super Nintendo.
My favorite Genesis game, bar none, Alicia Dragoon. The interesting thing about this one, do you know who produced this game?
Nope.
The animation studio in Japan called Gainax. Now, do you know what Gainax is known for?
No.
Neon Genesis Evangelion, FLCL, all sorts of really, really like majorly popular animes were made by Gainax, and Gainax is the one that produced Alicia Dragoon.
Cool.
And then I have Shadowrun, the good Shadowrun.
I never played the Sega one, but I enjoyed the Super Nintendo version.
No, the Super Nintendo one isn't Shadowrun.
Well, the thing is, I didn't know what Shadowrun was when I played it.
Yeah, I know. Objectively speaking, the SNES version of Shadowrun is not a bad game.
It's just not Shadowrun.
It's not an accurate representation of Shadowrun. That's
the problem. Well,
yes.
I'd never heard of Shadowrun prior to the Super Nintendo game, so I enjoyed the game, and I had no idea that it was not accurate to the source material.
Now, am I thinking that? Am I correct in for the Super Nintendo version at least? Because that's the only one I played. and it's been umpteen years since I've
Yes.
played it. Is that the one where you have a disguise of just sunglasses?
Yes. And the Lone Star badge is
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. You put the glasses on, and suddenly people stop freaking out that you're a dead body come back to life.
Speaking of that, the original creator of Shadowrun, Jordan Weissman, actually started his own video game company called Harebrained Schemes.
Yeah, and I played the new Shadowrun games. Shadowrun Returns.
Shadowrun Returns. Yeah, that's actually made by the creator of the actual RPG Shadowrun.
Yes, I know.
Jordan Weissman. The SNES character actually, the SNES character, his name is Jake Armitage.
Mm-hmm.
Is actually an NPC.
I found him. He's living in a dumpster, I think.
No, he was living in a morgue.
Morgue. Yeah.
He was in a drawer. Yeah, he was in a drawer. In the
That's
morgue.
right. Yeah. But yeah, I did stumble across him when I was playing Shadowrun Returns.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Fatal Fury. Gotta love Fatal Fury. Disney's Aladdin. The better version. I don't care what you think, Mr. SNES players. This is the better version. Animaniacs. Super Street Fighter 2.
Mm-hmm.
Street Fighter 2 Special Championship Edition. Jungle Strike, Desert Strike, and Urban Strike. Those are the EA helicopter games. If you haven't played those are great. I love those games. And then I got G-Lock Air Battle, Death Duel, Stargate, NBA Jam. I don't know a single person in the world, even if you liked football or not, who didn't have this game. They're football.
Even I had it.
Yeah, NBA, basketball or not. Road Rash 1 and 2. And going back up here, we've got NHL All-Star Hockey, Streets of Rage 1 and 2, NHL Hockey 93, Mortal Kombat 1 and 2, Rocket Knight Adventures. Oh, man, that's a great game. Sword of Vermilion, Eternal Champions, RoboCop versus Terminator. It's actually a really fun game. Tiny Toons Buster's Hidden Treasure, Pitfall, Strider, Wheel of Fortune, Pit Fighter, Crystal's Ponytail. I had a couple of friends that went and bought me this game for Christmas one year. It's like, you fucking dicks. And then Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures, which is a point-and-click adventure game.
Wow.
So that's my first shelf of Genesis stuff. And so we can go on to the second shelf here.
One of the things I liked about NBA Jam is they had all these cheat codes so you could play as non-basketball people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I used to play as Bill Clinton.
So over here, I have my Bishoujo Harley. Gotta love my Bishoujo Harley. But also, just to show that I am pretty egalitarian for this, I'm not all just DC. I have my Gambit. And then I also have, my 90s Rogue. So, all right. So, here we go. Gotta, hang on. There we go. The mount kind of broke free. Got my my Black Knight from Monty Python, whose arms come off.
Did the legs come off too?
Well, no, he used to say things. He's just a bubble like thing. Stand. But he used to say Monty Python quotes, but the batteries are dead and I need to get new batteries.
Yeah. None shall pass.
None shall pass. What? None shall pass. I've got Primal Rage in box, so I have two Primal Rages. Now, mind you, this is the reason why the other one is not in box, because it's cardboard. Here we go. Flashback. For those that don't know about this one, this was one of the most superbly animated video games back in the day. Oh my god, that's a crowning achievement of animation, in my opinion.
Was that the sequel to Another World, or am I thinking of something else?
I don't remember. Let me check. I say it's this game is the but yeah, you can see some of the graphics. It was like Prince of Persia back in the day too, because that was
Yeah, because if that's the one I'm thinking of, because I know Another World came out, and that was kind of Prince of Persia-ish.
mhm.
And then there was a sequel. I don't remember if it was Flashback or not, but yeah, it was. They were good games, but too hard for me at the time that I was playing them.
Yeah, they were brutally difficult. Yeah. What's kind of funny though is this right here. Get the whole story. 14-page flashback comic book from Marvel Comics inside.
Oh wow!
It's missing. Bastards. All right. And then I have a really hard game to find, but Cyborg Justice. That was a fun game. Is the sort of thing that's like you're playing this mech, but like one of the things you can do is rip off the arms of other mechs and put them on.
Cool.
So it was actually kind of a cool concept for a game. Dungeons and Dragons: Warriors of the Eternal Sun. Evander Holyfield's Real Deal Boxing.
Shaq Fu.
Shaq Fu. Unfortunately, this one does not have the Shaq rap CD in it anymore. So. Columns 3, Justice League Task Force. This is a 2D fighting game. BattleTech.
Oh yeah, I played that one.
Yep. Ghouls and Ghosts.
I remember that.
Sonic 2. Pirates Gold. What was it? Gold something? I guess just Pirates Gold. It was kind of unique in the fact that it was the most faithful PC port to the Genesis ever.
Okay.
And the content in it is vast for being just a 16-bit game.
Is that Sid Meier's Pirates?
I think it is, yeah. Sid Meier's Pirates, yeah. Mystic Defender. No Genesis collection would be complete without Kid Chameleon.
That
The Incredible Hulk. Golden Axe.
was a good game. Golden Axe.
Oh, yeah. Golden Axe was great. Shadows of the Beast. Risk. Dark Castle, one of the worst games. Target Earth. Arrow the Acrobat. Afterburner 2. Phantasy Star 3. Battletoads. Yes, this is Battletoads. Toe Jam and Earl. This one's actually really interesting. Do you know how much Toe Jam and Earl goes for on Amazon?
No idea.
Cartridge only, $60.
Wow.
Okay?
Yeah, it's pretty pricey.
I got this at a convention, at a comic book convention. Dude did not know what he had. Now, mind you, this has the manual. The case is a little marred. Okay, so it's not in pristine condition. But dude was only asking $5 for it.
Huh, cool.
So you damn well right I picked that up. And F-22. Oh,
I had something like that happen with Marvel vs. Capcom 2, where I'd heard how great this game was, and then I finally found it at like a video game shop, but it was part of a bundle of 3, and I didn't want the other 2 games, and they said, "Look, no one's going to buy this thing. Just take the game you want, and we'll charge you like $5 for it."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then I have over here, I have Thunderstrike for Sega Saturn, a spiritual successor to Jungle, Desert, and Urban Strike. And then I have Virtua Fighter 2 for the Sega Saturn. And then I have, oh, good lord, these are all my disc-only Sega Saturns. Virtual Cop, Daytona USA, The Nights into Dreams Sampler, and Crusader No Remorse.
Huh.
You don't have the Punisher.
For
Sega.
Sega Genesis? No, I don't. I wish I did because I love that game.
No, my friend had it, and then when I started getting ROMs, I actually took some searching to actually find it. And yeah, we spent an entire night. I think it was like 4 o'clock in the morning before we fell asleep before we beat it.
Is that the now? Just so that we're on the same page here. That's the side-scrolling beat 'em up with the second player is playing as Nick Fury, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That one's a great game. I love that game, but I do not own it, unfortunately. Okay, so we will go down here to one of my not so favorite shelves. This is my Nintendo modern console shelf.
Huh.
So here we've got my Game Boy Advance SP, my original, this is the DS Lite, right? Yeah, it's the DS Lite. Original 3DS. 3DS XL.
It's a lot of 3DSs.
Circle Pad Pro for the DS original. Circle Pad Pro for the DS XL. Because I needed them for Monster Hunter.
Fair enough.
So right here we've got we've got the Switch games that I have. I don't have very many. I have Owlboy, LA Noire, because the LA Noire up here didn't have all the DLC.
Ah,
This one does.
excellent.
The End is Nigh. Shining Residence Refrain. It's a new Shining game in the Shining Force series.
Oh, really?
Yes. And Axiom Verge. Those are all I have for the the Switch. Now we'll get into all I have for the Wii. Tales of Symphonia. Knight's Journey of Dreams. The reason why I have this is because, second. Calling is a horror game. It's really weird. It's really strange because it got really popular after PewDiePie played it on his channel. Everyone wanted a copy, but they made almost none. This, when it was brand new, was reselling for $80.
Jeez.
Guess how much this is selling for now.
How much?
I don't know. I haven't looked it up.
Mm-hmm.
The Last Story, Mad World, Resident Evil 4 Wii Edition, Monster Hunter Tri, Twilight Princess,
Mm-hmm.
Cursed Mountain.
This is showing $30.
Oh, $30? Really? That's really
Oh,
weird.
this one says 60.
Oh, you know what? The $30 might be a disc-only copy. Anyway, Obscure the Aftermath, Silent Hill Shattered Memories. I don't care what Chaos Eve says, I loved this game. Castlevania Judgment, which is if you don't know, a 3D fighting game of Castlevania characters.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't even know that this was a thing. I found out about it because JonTron and Egoraptor played it on a really old version of Game Grumps back in the day. And Metroid Prime Other M. That's literally all I own for the Wii.
I didn't like the 3D Metroids. I like the 2D ones much more.
Me too. That's the reason why I have the Other M. Metroid Prime is the first-person shooter. Other M is actually a side-scroller.
Oh, okay.
This is the one that was made by Team Ninja, the people that make Dead or Alive.
Okay. I must have gotten them because I knew Metroid Prime was a 3D one. I just thought they kept making 3D ones after that.
No. Though, like, there are segments in Other M that goes into first person, but it's like just a shooting gallery sort of thing. You're not actually running around in first person.
Okay,
The entirety of that game is played in side scroll.
cool.
And then I have for the Wii U. I know, right? I actually have a Wii U.
Why?
Well, you'll see in a second. Twilight Princess HD. I really like Twilight Princess. It's my second favorite Zelda game. Adventure.
What's your first favorite, Zelda?
Yeah, going from Wii Twilight Princess to Wii U Twilight Princess was like playing two different games.
It was. Well, you know why?
Because it was a mirror.
Yeah, let's say this. Everything is reversed.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the Wii U version of Twilight Princess is my favorite. My favorite Zelda game is Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
So I know people are going to get angry at me, but see, here's the thing. Even though I say that Ocarina of Time is my favorite Zelda game,
Mm-hmm.
and I say Twilight Princess is my second favorite, they sit there and go, "Whoa, man, you didn't play the originals." You can go fuck yourself.
No, my favorite was Spirit Tracks.
Spirit Tracks is okay. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I've never played it, but no, most people's response when you hear the Spirit Tracks is like, "Are you absolutely insane?"
That's like, okay, I have the Adventure Time Finn and Jake Investigations. I've not even put this in yet.
Okay.
I have this in my Steam wish list, but I have not played it. I got Wind Waker HD, Splinter Cell Blacklist,
That's racist.
Zombie U,
It's not Splinter Cell Blackface.
the 3 real reasons why I got the Wii U. Bayonetta 2, Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, and Hyrule Warriors.
Ah.
Yeah, Hyrule Warriors was.
All 3 of those games are great. And then I also have the Wii U version of Breath of the Wild,
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I got that too.
but I haven't played it. And then I only have 2 games for the GameCube. I have Medal of Honor, Rising Sun, and Eternal Darkness.
I loved Eternal Darkness.
Yes, and say anyone who knows about Eternal Darkness, it's one of the favorites for
Yeah,
horror.
I love that game.
Oh yeah.
Especially the one where he's got all his servants have been replaced by the monsters, but no one believes him, so he ends up getting locked up in an asylum.
Yep. And then we go on to the 3DS collection. All right, so I've got the Adventure Time Enkai Ridian Hey Ice King Why'd You Steal Our Garbage edition. This was a great game, by the way. Oh my god. If I could recommend any Adventure Time game, it would be this one. Mainly because this is what Zelda 2 should have been.
Okay.
It's actually a really damn good side-scroll adventure game. And then I've got Monster Hunter Stories.
And I still stand by me saying that Zelda 2 is very underrated.
It is underrated, but I think it's also very poorly executed.
I would agree with both of you.
Yeah. It's a cool concept, but I think that the game gets in its own way because there's not a whole lot to the game that tells you how to play the game. So that's why I don't really like Zelda 2.
I still say Majora's Mask is the best Zelda.
Majora, here's the thing. I actually do have a copy of Majora's Mask, a cartridge-only copy that a friend gave me.
Mm-hmm.
Never played it.
Okay.
I've not put it in my 3DS yet.
It's got the same engine as Ocarina of Time. It's just that it's far more side quest oriented. Like there's not some chain of 8 temples and then a little bit of side stuff. It's like the side stuff, and then there's 4 temples that also exist.
That's my
But
problem, is that I really don't like side stuff.
yeah,
I want a straightforward game.
so you probably wouldn't like it much, but what I liked about it was that because they confined it to the same 3 days being played out constantly, all the NPCs actually had a schedule. So like they didn't just stand in one place and say the same line. They actually, like the postman would at, I think it was 8 in the morning every day, do his rounds. And if you wanted to find him, you had to know his postal route. And, things like that where they actually, it felt like they had lives rather than just existing to further your adventure, which I thought was really cool, especially back in the N64 days.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I like the concept of it more than I've actually liked it when I played it, because I've only played a little bit of it.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't like side quest oriented stuff, you're not going to like Majora's Mask because it's 90% side quests.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got Monster Hunter Stories. This is the Gravity Falls game that came out with Legend of the Gnome Gemulets. It's actually a really fun game. I really enjoyed it. It's a little kiddie, but at the same time, that doesn't detract from the gameplay, not in my opinion. A Link Between Worlds. Adventure Time, explore the dungeon, because I don't know. This one was a massive letdown, okay? Because it's a dual stick shooter style dungeon crawler. Very Binding of Isaac-like.
Okay.
Problem is, it is single player only, and the difficulty curve is ridiculous. If it were multiplayer, a cooperative multiplayer game, it would be great. But do you know the only way that you could play it multiplayer?
If another person has the game and links up?
No. The only way to play it is on a console version of this game.
Oh.
And even then, if you have 4 players, only 2 people can play at a time. This was a great concept, extremely poor execution. Yeah. If I could definitely not recommend an adventure game, it would be this one.
Fair enough.
And then I have the Adventure Time Secrets of the Nameless Kingdom. That was actually kind of fun. I really liked Adventure Time. Shut up.
You're allowed to.
Shinobi 3's 3DS remake. So I've got the Shinobi 3 for the Genesis, and then Shinobi 3 for the 3DS. Crosswords Plus. That was a $5 game that I found at GameStop, I think. Then I've got Ocarina of Time 3D, Spirit Camera, which we'll get to in a second, because if you don't know what Spirit Camera is, have you heard of the game series Fatal Frame?
Yes.
This is a Fatal Frame game for the 3DS. And it's augmented reality.
Cool.
It does actually require supplemental material. It requires... come on. So, this book. The game. So, God help you if that book is not included and you buy it used. Mario Kart 7. I really enjoyed that game. Dead or Alive Dimensions. Resident Evil Revelations. In my opinion, the last good Resident Evil game. Then again, I do not have a very high opinion of Resident Evil.
Yeah.
I have a lot of Resident Evil games. I keep wishing that they're good. Just say it. Resident Evil Mercenaries 3D. Splinter Cell 3D, which is a remake of Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, but put on the 3DS, and I fucking loved that game. Super Street Fighter 4 3DS or 3D edition. Now this one was an interesting game. This is called Project Cross Zone.
Oh yeah.
And if you don't know about this game, let's take a look at the box art. Okay. We got Akira from Virtua Fighter. We got Dante from Devil May Cry. We got Jill Valentine from Resident Evil. We got Kite from Dot Hack. You got Mega Man X. You got Ryu from Street Fighter. You got, Lulu from Space Channel 5. Yeah, it's this insane mashup of 1,000,000,007 Capcom, Bandai, and Sega characters. It's ridiculous, but it's fucking awesome. I love this game. They actually have a sequel to it too.
Wow.
Yep. Come on. Fuck with me again. Alright. Coda Princess. I love this game. I'm thinking about buying it again for the 3DS, or not 3DS, Switch. I love this game.
Cool.
Kid Icarus Uprising.
Mm-hmm.
Monster Hunter Generations. Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. And Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate.
I've never played Monster Hunter, if you can believe it. Any of them.
I really enjoyed them, but they're very, very, very grindy. They're very much an MMO. So if you're not into MMOs, you're probably not going to get much enjoyment out of it. It's unfortunate, but yeah, that's the truth. But yeah, the Monster Hunter game's great. I mean, I fucking love playing. Although I'll say this: Monster Hunter 4, garbage game. I hate that game.
Okay.
Monster Hunter Monster Hunter Generations, great game. I fucking love that game. There's actually a Monster Hunter Generations 2, or Monster Hunter. They're calling it Monster Hunter Double Cross for the Switch. And yeah, if you've never played a Monster Hunter game, I would play that one, or I would play the brand new one, Monster Hunter World, for PC, PS4, and Xbox 360.
Whatever the most recent one is, I've got it wishlisted on Steam, but I'm probably never going to buy it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's Monster Hunter World is the newest one.
Okay. Well, that's the one that I've got wishlisted. I might end up buying it, but I mean, I've got so many games I've never played that it would probably just get added to the list of games I've never played and stay there for a long time.
So that's my modern Nintendo shelf. Then we go down here to the PlayStation shelf.
Oh, God.
Okay. I have a PSP. I don't really like it too much. Comparatively speaking to other hardware, this one is not very good. The home button constantly acts as though it's being depressed.
Ah, oops.
It's just a bad hardware design, in my opinion. That doesn't stop me from getting a couple of games for it, though. I have the remake of Final Fantasy 1.
Mm.
I have Castlevania Dracula X Chronicles, which is Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night, all in one.
Okay.
So that's the one thing I do kind of like and would recommend, is the fact that it's got Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood, which never got a US release, all in one game. So
I only ever played Symphony of the Night from the Castlevania series, but that was an awesome game.
yeah, and I say Castlevania Symphony of the Night is widely regarded as one of the best Castlevania games. I'm not sure if I would agree. I like it, but I'm not sure if it's the best. You know what I mean?
You want to know something funny? Have you ever played the game I Want to Be the Guy?
I've heard of it, but I've not played it.
Okay, so I was playing it, and one of the bosses is Dracula. And he does the whole, what is a man? A miserable little pup. And so when I played Symphony of the Night, I'd already played I Want to Be the Guy. So it was so weird to me hearing it spoken with, like, proper voice acting instead of the squeaky little I Want to Be the Guy voice.
Okay.
You're like, die, monster. You don't belong in this world. And it just sounds so much better coming from like a big, deep voiced Richter, but it's much funnier coming from the little kid. I Want to Be the Guy.
And then the main reason why I got a PSP.
Aha.
Don't judge me.
I don't.
My favorite game series. I've got the Power Stone collection. Oh my god! If you haven't played Power Stone, we'll get to that in a second. I fucking love those games. Those are great games. Amazing games to play with friends. It's such a great party game. Guilty Gear Judgment. This one is a side-scrolling beat-em-up game set in the Guilty Gear universe. It's not actually a fighting game, although it does have Guilty Gear X in it. It's a dual game, kind of like how Dracula X Chronicles is 2 games. I have Phantasy Star Portable. Gotta love Phantasy Star. Phantasy Star is a great series. I love Phantasy Star. And then this one is the only one that's not complete that I have, but it is Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. So those are all the PSPs that I have. And then look at my tiny, tiny original PlayStation collection.
Yeah, wow.
This is all I have for the original PlayStation. I have Iron and Blood. You see that there? Warriors of Ravenloft. Now, here's the thing. You got to remember about me, in terms of everything that I've got, even on my channel, okay? Ravenloft is my favorite Dungeons & Dragons setting ever. Like, I found out that they had a video game about it. I don't care how terrible this game is. And it's terrible. It is pretty bad. For a 3D fighting game, this is hands down one of the worst, okay? But it's Warriors of Ravenloft. I don't give a shit. I had to have it. Okay. I also have Fear Effect. I also have Alone in the Dark, The New Nightmare. And it wouldn't be me if I didn't have Silent Hill.
Of course.
Gotta have Silent Hill.
Which is quite possibly the scariest game to play in surround sound.
Oh yes, yeah. And I say they definitely did a damn good job with the sound direction of that game. So I have not that many PS3 games, but I mainly bought it for see, that's the thing. A lot of people scoff and say, why would you ever buy a console for only one game? That's why I buy a console, okay? If there is one game that is a draw for me, I'll buy a console, okay?
And was that game Catherine?
That game was Last of Us.
Catherine's better.
Well, this is an exclusive to the PS3.
Yeah, I know. But I did actually enjoy Catherine. That it's
I have not played it yet. I have it, but I haven't played it.
I played the demo and it is
it's not great, but it's a simple block puzzle game.
Well, I've heard the major reason why to get this game is because the story is really, really, really good.
Yeah, I did like the story, but in terms of the actual game, it's basically pushing blocks around so you can climb to the top.
Okay.
It's very, very. It's simple, but it's not easy. If you like, it's quite difficult to actually figure out how to do it. But the concept is easy to grasp. It's just pushing the blocks around and.
I'm sorry, I completely forgot. I do have one more original PlayStation game. Is another one just like Crystal's Ponytail up there? Is yet another game that someone got me for a joke gift. But here's the thing: I love this game. It's retarded, it's stupid, but I enjoy the shit out of it. Spice World.
Wow. Okay.
It's retarded. It's such a bad game, but I love it. Anyway, I have Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. Dragon's Dogma. I love that game. Oh my god.
I've heard good things.
I have it also for the PC, but I have the Dark Arisen for the PC, which has all the DLC and the added content and stuff like that. But Dragon's Dogma, fucking great game. If you don't want the grind necessarily involved in Monster Hunter, but want a really damn good story that's a lot like Monster Hunter, get Dragon's Dogma.
Okay. This is one I'm not sure if I own it or if I've wishlisted it because I have a lot of games that I don't know whether I own them or not.
Yeah. Dragon's Dogma is great. I fucking love that game.
I do own it. I own it.
Okay. Play it.
And
It's really good.
it's pretty bad that I've gotten to the point where I need to look up whether I own a game or not.
I've got Catherine. Dragon's Crown. Fucking great game. I love Dragon's Crown. Then again, I am a sucker for 2D sprites on a 3D plane beat 'em ups. You'll notice that about me. I'm kind of a sucker for those.
Is Dragon's Crown the one that had the like controversial character with the giant tits?
Yes, the sorceress. Yes.
Yeah.
The art in that game is fucking beautiful, though.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played it, but from the artwork I've seen, I do like the style.
What I love about it too is that the artists actually doubled and tripled down on it.
Yeah.
SJW said, well, "We're not going to buy your horrible sexist game." They said, "Fine, don't." And guess what? It sold ridiculously well.
Because the SJWs were never going to buy it anyway.
No, they weren't.
Like,
games.
Even if it was completely chaste and full of nuns who did nothing but pray, no, they're never gonna.
Mm-hmm. Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one I found out about because Continue did a play of this, and I just loved the concept so much. It was so ridiculous that I had to get it. This is Akiba's Trip. Akiba's Trip. Akiba Strip. Undead and Undressed. So
Zombie porn?
It's all about vampires, and the way you beat them is to get them naked.
Nice.
So I had to get it. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, I bought a game called Deep Space Waifu just because it was so ridiculous that I had to own it.
Mm-hmm. So here are all my PS Vita games. I've got Odin Sphere Lefthauser. Lefthauser? That's how it's pronounced, but Dungeon Hunter Alliance. Unit 13. Arkham Origins Blackgate. This is an Arkham game, but it's a side scroller.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like Metroid.
Right.
We were talking before about how the Arkham Asylum game is a Metroidvania game. This is literally a Metroidvania game.
Okay, cool.
Borderlands 2. Dragon's Crown. Had to get it twice.
Of course.
Fuck the social justice warriors. Silent Hill Book of Memories. If there's a single Silent Hill game that I don't like, it's not Shattered Memories, Eve. Memories. This is a dual stick shooter dungeon crawler in Silent Hill.
Okay.
Tukiden Kiwami? Yeah, Tukiden Kiwami. This one is essentially kind of like a Tecmo Koei version of Dark Souls / Monster Hunter.
Okay.
Kind of interesting. Virtue's Last Reward. This is literally an escape room game.
Okay, cool.
And Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunters.
That's a
strategy role-playing game.
Okay. It's an interesting name.
Yep. I bought it probably purely because of the name. And then we get into my PS4 games. Let's just go in here, here, here. Right. I have Monster Hunter World,
Mm-hmm.
The Last Guardian, King of Fighters 14,
Cool.
Injustice: Gods Among Us Gold Edition, Injustice 2,
Mm-hmm.
the tin case of Injustice 2. When I bought this, I also bought the season pass that gets me all present and future content. So
Yeah.
I have all of the DLC characters. I have Darkseid. I have all of the I have everything that's in Injustice.
Yeah, I got the same thing except on Steam, so there's no case or any metal tin. But in terms of the game, I got all the DLC and everything.
Yep. Street Fighter 5.
Uh-huh.
Now you see why I bought a PS4.
Can't read it. PS4 console
Exclusive.
game.
For a long time, they didn't have Street Fighter 4 for the PC. They only had PS4. Berserk: Band of the Hawk.
Hmm.
This one is if you know the Berserk anime, it is the Berserk anime and more. It's actually goes into the story of the manga, but it's a Dynasty Warriors style third person hack and slash, and it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Never played any of those games, I would highly recommend this one to start because it's awesome. Guilty Gear X 3rd Rev 2. I got this one simply because my favorite Guilty Gear character is in. All of the other versions of Guilty Gear X 3rd didn't have Baiken in it. This release was the one that introduced Baiken and Answer as new characters to the X 3rd version of the game. Until Dawn. Crimes and Punishment, Sherlock Holmes.
Nice.
The one I recommended to Terry.
Yes,
and I got Tom Dowd to follow me on.
Yeah, because of that. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm. Dot Hack GU Last Recode. I love this game series, the Dot Hack.
I haven't played this set.
Well, it's funny because I have the Dot Hack GU Last Recode for the PS4, and you can see right back here, I have Dot Hack GU Volume 1, 2, and 3 for the original PlayStation 2. So I have 2 copies of this game, essentially, because I have the original PlayStation 2 version.
So they have it for the PlayStation 4?
Oh, yeah. This is the Dot Hack GU Last Recode is Dot Hack GU Volume 1, 2, and 3 for the PlayStation 2.
Cool.
All right.
It's just that it has a little bit more content on the PS4 version. So if you wanted to play the Dot Hack GU game, get GU Recode, or Last Recode for the PS4. And then I have the special edition of Little Nightmares. So
That's pretty cool.
Chaos Eve recommended to people on the Minion server. I already owned it. It was funny because this game was like I think only $10 in the special edition for the PS4 at Best Buy. So I'm like, meh, why not? I'll fucking get it.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool. But yeah, it was a complete cold call on that one, and it actually turned out to be pretty good. And then I have behind here my PlayStation 2 collection. Or sorry, I still have a last PSP game. I have Fate Extra for the PSP. This is the special edition that has all of the extra shit. And you play as Saber Nero. So that's kind of cool. I've got Katamari Damacy. Yeah, GameStop, you can still go fuck yourself.
That's one of the.
They remade this game for the Switch.
Okay. Oh, okay. It's one of those games that I've heard about, and I do want to play, but I've just never gotten around to actually playing.
Well, I would recommend it on the Switch. Here's the problem. GameStop refuses to carry it when it's supposed to be a GameStop exclusive.
Ah.
You know, you can go on Amazon and you can buy it, yeah, because the people that have managed to pick it up at a GameStop are reselling it for $80 when the game retails for $30.
Jesus.
Yeah, no. GameStop, you can go fuck yourself. If you don't carry this shit in the store, then yeah, I'm not going to renew my fucking Power Up Pro rewards, whatever. You can go fuck yourself. I don't give a shit. Fuck you. Anyway. Obscure for the PS2. This is the Obscure 1. You say you remember I had Obscure the Aftermath up here for the This is the PlayStation 2 Obscure 1. Obscure is actually kind of interesting. It's a Silent Hill-esque survival horror game, but it's co-op. You play with 2 characters. And so you could play it single player by swapping between the characters, or you can play it with 2 players and have the other person controlling the other character. It's actually kind of an interesting concept for a survival horror game.
Cool.
I have Zone of the Enders and Zone of the Enders Second Runner. So remember before I have them for the Xbox 360. So here's the ones for the PS2. I have Red Dead Revolver, the game that came before Red Dead Redemption. Samurai Warriors. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Batman Vengeance. This was the last game, or the last time before Arkham Asylum that, oh god, what was her name? Shit. Arlene Sorkin did the voice for Harley Quinn.
Cool.
The last time before Arkham Asylum, and then she didn't do the voice for Harley after Arkham Asylum.
No, I know.
Yeah. King of Fighters Maximum Impact. It's actually kind of interesting. This is a King of Fighters 3D fighting game.
Oh, okay.
Devil May Cry. Ace Combat 5. Demon's Stone, which is a action RPG set in the Forgotten Realms setting of Dungeons & Dragons.
Aha.
I have Dot Hack Infection and Mutation. This is the first Dot Hack series. But I only have the first 2 games. This is a 4-game series.
Right.
So, my roommate has the other 2. I have Dot Hack GU Volume 1, 2, and 3. Silent Hill 2, 3, 4, The Room. So, if you remember back in the Xbox stuff, I have an Xbox copy of Silent Hill 2 and 4. They didn't come out with 3 on the Xbox, unfortunately.
So is Silent Hill for The Room made by Tommy Wiseau?
If it's not, it really should be, because Silent Hill 4 is, in my opinion, one of the worst Silent Hill games.
I tried the demo on that one at Shopko one of the times I was there, and it didn't really. It just didn't feel like a Silent Hill game.
What they need to do is have a zombie called Lisa, and then when it kills you, you are tearing me apart, Lisa.
Tearing me apart, Lisa. You know what's funny about that? Hold on. What's her name, Lisa? I'm trying to remember. Oh no, it's Mary. Wait a minute, wasn't the other woman he meets named Lisa?
As long as she tears you apart, that's the main thing.
She gets torn apart. That's the thing.
Okay.
But yeah, no, there's this Silent Hill.
Well, then it would be Lisa. You're getting torn apart.
Tearing apart, Lisa. Splinter Cell Double Agent and Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow. So across the Xbox and PS2, Xbox 360, and Wii U, I have every version of Splinter Cell.
Nice.
Actually, since we brought up Chaos Eve, I actually invited her, but she's on her way to her mom's.
Ah, that sucks. All right. I'll say she and I could have a debate about Silent Hill.
Well, because that was my selling point in inviting her. I was like, if you want to make fun of Inquisitor's love of Shattered Memories, here's the link.
Siren, which is a really interesting, weird survival horror game. There's actually a game that came out exclusively for the PS3 on download only called Siren Blood Curse. That's a sequel to it, which I also have on my PS3. It's one of the things that I have downloaded only. If you can't tell, I like owning physical copies.
I had noticed.
We might have to cut this short a little bit, Quiz, because your stream's coming up.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll see. If they start complaining at me, we'll see. Shadow of the Colossus. Guitar Hero 2.
I've already started on a spiel. Like, it's gotten bad.
Resident Evil Code Veronica. Spawn Armageddon. And Fatal Frame 1, 2, and 3. So, that's the thing. Okay, and I still have 2 more shelves, but those also go fairly quickly, I think, because not a whole lot of people are going to really know these games. They're very niche, but they're my favorite games out of all of these. These are all PlayStation. Steve. Fucking PSP stuff. There it is.
De La Haye stopped by and said hi.
Tell him what's up. There. And me. Yeah, if you can't tell, I'm really a big retro gamer. Oh no, sorry, I have 3 shelves, but we'll do this one because this one's probably going to be the one that everyone's a little bit more interested in. I have my SNES games here: Super Battle Tank, War in the Gulf, F-Zero, Earthbound. You should look up the cost of that one on Amazon, Johnny.
Yeah, that's expensive.
Super Smash TV, Super Metroid, Final Fantasy III, and Star Fox.
I think you mean Final Fantasy VI.
Yes, I know it's Final Fantasy VI. I have Ocarina of Time, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, Gauntlet Legends, Wave Racer 64.
Fucking love Wave Race.
1080. This is one of my favorite games. I played it so much on my girlfriend's N64 back in the day. Dual Heroes. Fucking GoldenEye.
Oh yeah.
No, it's a terrible game.
No, GoldenEye is great at the time when I had no idea how first-person shooters work on a PC.
Well, at the time, no. I'm gonna be that dick. No, GoldenEye was always terrible. Anyway.
Fair enough.
And Pokemon Snap. And I have right over here, I have my Atari 2600 games. I actually even have a still in box Missile Command.
Wow, okay.
This is difficult. Let's go like that. There we go. Try to power through these real quick. This is the retro Nintendo shelf. This is what I've got here. Then I've got Lufia and the Fortress of Doom. That was my Missile Command for the Atari 2600. I have...
Wow, $292.
Yep. Takeshi's Challenge.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I have a copy of Takeshi's Challenge. Complete too. It has everything in it.
Nice.
Imported from Japan. These are my Famicom games. I have Super Mario Brothers 3.
That's actually the that's where MXC came from.
Yep. Most Extreme Challenge? Yeah, it's from
Yeah.
Castle. Super Mario Brothers 1. So hey Terry. Or no, sorry, Johnny. If Super Mario Brothers 1 sold for a ridiculous amount of money, do you think I could get some cash out of it? Because I have a Famicom copy.
Well, I'm sure you could if you could find someone who needs it. I'm pretty sure you can probably get a pretty penny out of it.
And Air Fortress #1. This was actually a really interesting find. I was at a Half Price Books up here in Chicago, and I saw an actual Japanese Famicom being sold. So,
Wow.
really? You have a Famicom? They're like, yeah. And we're like, fucking how much you want for it? And they're like, $60. I'm like, fuck yeah, sold. So then up here I've got Zelda, Bionic Commando, Master Blaster, my favorite original NES game, Guardian Legends.
Okay.
This is actually a really interesting game. It's a one-part curtain fire shooter, one part dungeon crawler, like Zelda. It's a fucking great game. I love this game so much. Yeah, it's my favorite NES game. I got Bionic Commando, Master Blaster, Dragon Warrior, aka Dragon Quest, Spy Hunter, Narc, Bubble Bobble, Metal Gear, Star Tropics, Metroid, Mega Man 2, Tetris, Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest, Castlevania. Pull this one out because I gotta show this one off. Castlevania fucking 3, Dracula's Curse.
Cool.
That's a ridiculously hard game to find. Because that's the actual story that everyone doesn't know that leads up to Symphony of the Night.
Right.
Yep. This is Ninja Turtles arcade game, Ghosts and Goblins, Silent Service, Skate or Die, Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt, Contra, Joust, Legacy of the Wizard, DuckTales, and down here in the Vault of Shame, Ninja Gaiden.
Mm-hmm. DuckTales was actually a really good game.
Oh yeah, DuckTales is great. It's a Capcom game. I also have down here a Super Game Boy and Pokemon Blue. Never played Pokemon. I was going to play it with Zelthor as a Let's Play on my channel.
Right.
Games that I've not gone through here, I have all of my DS games.
Wow.
CD games. My Sega Saturn, not Sega Saturn, Sega Master System games. My Sega Saturn games. More Sega CD games. My Sega Dreamcast games. I actually have an ambition to be able to collect all of the Sega Dreamcast's domestic library. So, yeah. That one's
one of the ones I'm trying to get. One of the ROMs I'm trying to find is was it Shining Force 3.
Shining Force 3 for the
Sega CD.
Saturn. No, really? I thought it was on the Saturn.
I think that's Sega CD.
Well, I'll tell you this much. I do have one game that would be really interesting for you on the Saturn. If you're into Shining Force, I have. I didn't fuck up my book there. I have.
Oh, it's Sega Saturn. You're right. I thought it had
Shining the Holy Ark.
Mm-hmm. I can't remember. Did you say you have Night Trap for the Sega CD or not?
I do not. I don't have Night Trap. I want Night Trap so bad.
Because I remember we were talking about Night Trap. I just couldn't remember if it was one that you'd only just gotten or if you said that you were desperately looking for.
No, I'm still looking for it, man. I really wish I had it. But yeah,
Did you say it was on the Switch?
They did. They released it on the Switch, yeah. But I think it's a download only. I don't think they released a physical copy. But yeah, for the Saturn, I have Nights into Dreams, Corpse Killer, Blazing Heroes, Virtual On. I love this game. Bar none, if money was no object, I would have the arcade version of Virtual On. I love the game series so much. Oh, World Series Baseball 2, Robotica, Daytona USA. This copy of Daytona USA, not my other copy of Daytona USA. Shining the Holy Ark, Guardian Heroes. Man, okay. If you wanted to look up games, you remember down here how much Earthbound cost, right?
Yeah.
Look up these 3 games and kind of eat your heart out about how much they cost. Holy Ark, Guardian Heroes, and Albert Odyssey. Each one of them is going to be well over $200, especially in this condition, with the full case and manual. I have D Lodestar, Echo the Dolphin, Eternal Champions, Slipheed and Lunar, Space Ace and Dark Wizard, Jurassic Park, and what was this one? Double Switch.
Sega Saturn?
Sega CD. Yeah, for the Sega Saturn. It's these 3 games right here. Shining the Holy Ark, Guardian Heroes, and Albert Odyssey.
$16.95.
1600?
No. $16.95.
For which one?
Shining the Holy Ark.
It's probably CD only.
Let's see.
Check in there.
Beware of counterfeit sellers. Photo paper. Oh, it's just the poster. It looks like the game cover. I'll show you. But it's the frickin' poster.
That's dodgy.
Yeah. You gotta love it how
So I got all excited. I'm just like, oh, well, that's freaking cheap. And then I'm like, reading over here, it's the freaking poster. Who gets a poster of just a game cover? Like
people who want to sell it for $17. So people who think they're buying a game.
Yeah, it's kind of funny actually. I actually have a rare poster of my Virtual Fighter that my roommate got out of an old magazine. And I'm like, I wonder if I could, resell that shit for a whole crap ton of money for no terribly apparent reason.
Okay, here's something incredibly awkward about this. Let me reshare this. It's set as home and kitchen.
Perfect place for a poster.
As you do,
All right, let's see if I can find an actual game. Oh, here we go. Here's a Japan import for $34.45.
Okay, here's the problem with Japan imports. They don't work on domestic Sega Saturns, and they don't. They're in Japanese, so if they're an RPG, you can't really play them unless you know Japanese.
Yeah. Okay, here it is. $169.25.
Yeah. Okay. Let's say it fluctuates in price.
That's more reasonable. And it's not a poster.
Yeah.
I'd love if it was. $165 and all you get's a poster.
Well, that's like when eBay became a thing, and most people were like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna sell this Xbox," and so this guy paid $350 for an Xbox, and it turns out it's just the box.
Oh.
And so when he read the thing in there, it said Xbox box. And yeah, he tried suing to get his money back and lost the suit.
Well, if it said exactly what it was, then he's got no grounds for a lawsuit.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean that might be low down, but that's crafty.
Yeah, I mean, if they hadn't put that it's just the box in the description, then absolutely he could sue for damages. But if he sold it as you are buying the box for an Xbox, yeah, I mean, he's not done anything illegal, I wouldn't have thought.
Okay. So, I do have to get going though, because everyone is gathering to play the game. So, thanks for letting me on, Johnny. If you guys ever want to talk retro games, man, I think I've demonstrated my my knowledge base.
Yeah, I've got most of those as far as the Holy Trinity. I would say the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega ones, but only on a flash drive. So,
and so I got a lot of stuff in physical copy. I wish I had more of the really good, interesting stuff, but the stuff that I have, I think I really kind of exemplified what I really want to do with my collection. So.
Yeah, that's the stuff I wanted to talk to Satsu about, because I want to do sort of like a let's play type stuff where, I'm trying these games for the first time, and then just sucking miserably at it. Because some of those games are like, you'd think for as basic graphics as they are, like as far as games from the 1980s as compared to now, you'd think they'd be easy,
No, they're much
They
harder.
are far more difficult. Like
Yes.
I would argue to say that the games are easier now than they were then.
Yes.
Well, the thing is, back then they didn't have enough storage to make games long. So if they wanted you to get your money's worth, so to speak, they had to provide a lot of challenge. So it would take a long time for you to finish the game.
Yeah.
Because if they made a game the length of Super Mario 1, but with the ease of play of today's games, it'd be like a 20-minute thing. And then you'd have people saying, what the fuck did I buy this for?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it'd be level 1 straight to level 8, and then 2 through 7 is a DLC.
Yeah.
Right. That's a good point. Yeah. All right. So yeah, I've gotta hit the bricks, guys. Any time you want to talk retro games, just hit me up, man.
Even if it started off as a music conversation.
Yeah.
It always develops into retro or into games though. If Terry and I are on.
Generally, yeah.
Conversations that I usually start usually just devolve into either politics or other topics other than what I want to start it off with.
Well, I'm glad we went to video games and not politics.
Yeah, politics is getting really depressing lately.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it's
See
getting
you
better.
around.
Take care, guys.
Bye,
All right.
Chris.
See ya. Yeah, we should probably close it out.
Yeah, no worries. Well, thanks for having me on. It's always fun to talk.
No problem.
All right, I'll see you around.
See ya. And you guys have a good night.